bum, bum. Halito, Chimachakama. That translates to hello, how are you in the Choctaw language. The Choctaws are important to me because I'm an 8th Choctaw. My great-grandfather was full blood on my father's side. I'm the last of the native blood lineage, so it's important for me to know my history. I think it's important to realize that American history started before the United States as well. With that, today we're going to discuss some of the history of my tribe, the displacement across the United States, and finally, some Choctaw culture. To begin, Choctaw is the second largest of 574 federally recognized tribes across the United States and North America. In a 2011 poll, we had over 220,000 registered members. According to the book, The Native American World, Choctaw comes from the Chickasaw word meaning long hair. Many of the southern tribes were shaved head, but the Choctaw kept their long hair. The Choctaw descended from the Mississippi Temple Mound builders and were once united with the Chickasaws. Moving into life after the first settlers in America. Foreign settlers in America, I should say. Dr. Greg O'Brien of the University of Southern Mississippi explains that Choctaw were living in the southeast United States in the area that was to become the Mississippi. Following the French and Indian War, many Choctaws fled the area because Great Britain's takeover. Later, Thomas Jefferson infamously implemented the Indian Removal Act of 1830. This pushed the remaining Choctaw and Cherokee out of the Mississippi River Valley and into Oklahoma. The current Choctaw Territory covers just under 7 million acres in southeast Oklahoma. The last thing that we're going to discuss today is some important cultural pieces from the Choctaw Nation. This comes direct from the Choctaw Nation website, beginning with ceremonial dresses. These dresses date back to the early 1800s, but are only worn for special occasions today. They're usually bright, solid colors with contrasting trim or prints. Lastly, the ishtabuli, or the stickball. It's similar to lacrosse, but it's played with 2 sticks instead of 1. Interestingly, the Choctaw newspaper, the Biskinik, the earlier games had very few rules, but could be used as an alternative for war and often resulted in fatalities. We've discussed some of the Choctaws' history, their displacement across the United States, and a couple of their cultural significances as a North American native tribe. Although I'm only an 8th Choctaw, I'm greatly proud of my ancestral roots in America, and I look forward to growing my future family here. Thank you for letting me share some of my American cultural heritage with you today.